Hello and welcome to an amazing episode of Boss Talks. We've got the lovely Kristine here helping us out and sharing her wisdom with us of how to be amazing in your life and get everything you want and more of what you want in your life. Because we really see so many people out there that are like part of the system, being controlled by negative thoughts and emotions, and we want to really just show and share what we've learned that has been helpful to us and other people that we've learnt from, and get those strategies out to you. So a big one we have is time management. It's a huge one, and if you can master your time, well then you're going to go further, because time is the one thing that you can't get more of. You can get more money, you can get more relationships, I guess, you can get a new car, you can get all these other things. That's not a infinite supply, but time, once it's gone, it's gone. So, Kristine, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Joel. I'm so glad to be here again, and thank you for listening, guys. I prefer to call it self-management rather than time management. I think, time is our biggest commodity, and who we spend it with and what we spend it doing each day is really important to the fulfillment of our life. And today on this podcast, we're going to share with you some simple strategies on how you can work smarter and get everything done in your day that is going to help you expand as a person. So I'm really excited about this one. I think we're going to be able to help a lot of people out there, because this is the main topic that a lot of people come to us that they want help with. So think of it more as self-management rather than time management, because at the end of the day, we've all got the same amount of time in a day. It's what you do with that time that is really, really important. And procrastination really is, a form of self-hatred. So if you're a procrastinator, like I used to be, you've got to start valuing yourself more, really know that you're worthy. And I think get that out of your vocabulary, procrastination. You're not going to do it anymore after this podcast. So give yourself permission to grow and expand and focus on the things that really matter. What are we talking about first?
Oh, wow. Where do we start? Well, I guess the design of this podcast is not only just for us to give our opinion, but we want to give you strategies that you can apply immediately. So I guess I got some stuff prepared.
Mm-hmm.
I've been following some of the best people on the planet, the Grant Cardones, the Tony Robbinses, Ed Milet, Andy Priscilla, and these guys have all got one thing in common. They really own their morning.
Mm.
So I guess how do we own our morning?
Well, I'm glad that you asked, because I'm reading a book at the moment called The 5 a.m. Club. Guys, if you haven't read it, I strongly recommend that you do read it or get the audio book. There's also other books out there like The Miracle Morning as well that are really, great for helping ritualize your morning. We really want to protect you from distraction. Now, if you're a parent out there, you'll understand that distractions come in many forms throughout your day. However, if you can get up at 5 a.m. and be part of this 5 a.m. club with entrepreneurs and people who want to, elevate and really elevate their life, all do this. They all get up before the sunrise. And the reason that we do it is we want you to work on 4 key areas, 4 interior empires, I guess. And the first one is mindset. Then you've got heart set, health set, and soul set. So in order for you to live a more fulfilling day and a more productive day, they're kind of the 4 key areas we want you to touch on first before anything else, before the rest of the household wakes up. And that's going to help you have the most outstanding day. It's going to help put you in a different set of different mindset, and really help you have the edge, be in your creative flow, and put you in a better mood as well. So one thing that I want to mention as part of the 5 a.m. club, and you kind of do it for 66 days. And, if you read the book, they explain why you do that. But the first hour, guys, of your morning between 5 a.m. and 6 a.m. is really key. And we break it down into 3 20-minute sections. So for the first 20 minutes, you get up and you exercise, any type of movement that's going to make you sweat or get your heart rate up. And there's so much science and research around this. It releases so many amazing feel good hormones and things like that. So the first 20 minutes is the huffy puffy exercise, okay? And then the second 20 minutes is all about, kind of what we call your victory hour, I guess. So the second 20 minutes is reflecting. So you want to get into tranquility. You want to get into a state of silence and stillness. You want to reflect on how you're living your life, and you want to imagine things. You want to be grateful for things. You'll put meditation into that 20 minutes and things like that as well. So I love to just write things down in a journal, just let my brain dump all ideas and things that I'm grateful for, everything like that. And then the third 20 minutes is around growth. So what's a book that you could read? What's something that you could study? How can you become more valuable in your industry, in your profession? And how can you become more valuable to the world? If you want to be a better parent, maybe you listen to some parenting podcasts or read some parenting books. If you want to be, at the top of your game in the real estate profession, how can you do that? Following people that have gone before you, I guess. So the victory hour in the morning, Joel, I feel is really key to help set people up for success for their day. And I know you've got some amazing tips around what you've read around this area as well.
Yeah, well, I just want to touch on one thing. Like every single person that I've followed has linked exercise and moving your body to success. And I can't remember the exact study, though, for men in particular, getting up and if they did some study, it was like men that were not going that well, and they got one group to get up and just do 40 squats a day.
Yep.
As soon as they got up, 40 squats in a row, and they got the control group to not do anything. The people that did the 40 squats, their life started getting better, and they started feeling happier. They started getting better results in their life in all areas. And it really is a testament to the fact that if you get up and own that first couple of minutes of your day, like one of my coaches, he actually says his morning ritual is just to wake up and lay in bed for just a couple of minutes and just decide who's showing up today. How is he going to show up today? Who's he going to be? And he tries to find really fun words. Like, he doesn't go up and go, I'm going to be like a salesman or anything. Like, he goes, I'm going to be presidential. That's how I'm going to hold myself today. I'm going to be like super dad, because it might be time for him to be in dad mode. And just really comes out. I see a lot of that. So people deciding how they're going to show up. And I know you spent all last year, when you had so much success, you decided last year to do that. So that's huge.
Can I just add in on the exercise as well? When you do that, it releases chemicals in your brain. So the dopamine, the serotonin, it actually helps repair brain cells, guys. Like, that is so important, and will come into play later on in life when, friends and family, their mentality, their brain cells are starting to die. If you're constantly stretching and expanding them and repairing them, it's honestly, it's going to give you that longevity and vitality that we all crave. The other thing it does is it lowers cortisol as well, and it helps transform your psychology and your physiology. Like, you show up differently in the world when you feel good. So movement and it doesn't have to be anything major. Like, the 40 squats is amazing, and just adding in squats throughout your day or push-ups throughout your day, just do something that raises your heart rate is enough. So you don't have to go on, a marathon run or anything like that. But it's so key. It's so key. And I look at everyone in my life who's successful. Exercise and movement is a major part of their morning ritual. And it just gives you that mental clarity, and it reduces stress. You know that stress is the number one reason why people are going to see their GPs. It's one of the number one causes of death in the world is stress. So exercise it's incredible, and it's essential for you moving forward in your peak performance state.
Yeah, well, I know people that do it so it fits in with your life. Do it so it's cool for you. Like, what we're saying here is just a sort of a guide. But I know people that don't get up and do a run in the morning, they will get up and like start work, and then every hour they'll be in front of the computer and they'll just do some push-ups. They'll do 10 push-ups every hour, and an alarm will go off, and that's what they do, because that's like gets them. Or they'll go for a walk every hour and a half. They'll go to a 15-minute walk to download the stress, you know, and handle it. And like Ed Milet says all the time that he would not have the success in business. You know, he's not a joke. He's like $400 million a year turnover, multiple private jets. Like he's got he's not trying to sell us anything. He's just trying to show us and help us that how to be more successful. And he's amazing. I was lucky to meet him a couple of times, actually. He's just so humble. But anyway, don't want to Ed Milet fanboy you guys, but he's a legend. And he says like he would not have a tenth of the success he's got if he didn't have the mindset that he got from the gym. And and the gym's his thing. He's a solid guy now. And but whatever it is, if it's swimming, if it's running, if it's hiking, if it's gymnastics, whatever it is, I think it's huge. And you're hearing the science of getting rich. Wallace D. Rawls, great book, another one.
Yep.
And it says mind, body, soul. Not one of them is more important than the other. You got to hit them all. And the body, and like I'm a culprit. I was either all in on the body. I was never hitting all three until more recently, the last probably 12 months. I've got on top of that, and things are just come to me a lot easier now, and I can handle the stress.
Yes,
that's probably more the bigger picture. Like I can handle things that come at me and just be cool with it. Like, okay, I can handle this. So a lot more certainty. So so I can share a bit more. Like, so guys, could you imagine getting 3 days put into one? We talk about mind, body, and soul. Well, I'm going to share something that I learned from Ed Milet. What he does is he actually plans his day. Like, I'll put it to you like this. Have you ever had a 5 or 6 hour period in your day where you've just got more than a day's worth of work done, and you've been super productive, you got so much done, you've done high paying activities, you've really just got a lot of stuff done? That could be like in your exercise, it could be in your spiritual stuff, it could be in your business. What he does is he takes advantage of that, right? Because he knows success loves speed, and he knows that, if you're doing a 100-meter sprint, you're likely to go a lot faster because the finish line's really close. So, and if you're doing a marathon, it's going to be you're going to have a lot slower pace. And he actually says that a lot of people go so slow because they think they've got so much time, and they actually think their goals are so far away. And he says the truth is they're really close. They're a lot closer than you think. So if you actually believe that, you'll actually start moving faster. So what he does with his clients is he gets them to do entire days planning that they used to do. So whatever they're planning, their time management around previously, he gets them to find a way to put that into 6 hours. And then he gets them to do that like 3 times in the day. So what that essentially means is he's doing a whole day's work in 6 hours, because come on, if we're really efficient and we've got a time goal, we can get that done. If we really had to, we could do it. So what he does is he does that every day. So he does that as soon as he's finished his Monday work, which he does in 6 hours. He actually has another day. So he could do like money making stuff in the first 6 hours, which would normal people, and he's not saying normal, he's talking about other high achievers, take an entire day to do. He does it in 6 hours. And then he has a second 6 hours where he can do more work, or he does stuff with his family. So he's all in, really present. So he's like, high bang for buck in that 6 hours. And then as soon as that 6 hours is up, he does another 6 hours, and it could be spirit, it could be whatever, or it could like whatever it ends up being. So essentially what he does is he gets 3 days put into one, and he does that every day. So you think in 30 days, he's done 90 days. So we talk about 90-day game plans a lot. Well, he's doing that in 30 days. So what I put it to you is, if you could do that, would it be worth it? Would it be worth to get 30 days, get what you'd normally used to do in 90 days or more? And all you got to do is really just like understand that, if you measure it and, whatever gets, where performance is measured, it's going to improve. So, you want to keep a check on the results you're getting and the goals that you're going for. But like, how does that sound? Like, imagine if you could do that.
Amazing. And I think this is where you really need to have a time audit. Like, what are you spending your time on? Like, really get clear on that, guys. Have a look back through your past 24 hours and kind of map it out. Where were you spending your time? Because we get that some of your parents and it's not perfect and you're probably thinking 6 hours, how am I going to fit that in? So we want to give you some tips around this. And something that really worked for me, Joel, in the beginning was, I got 2 small kids, one's 6, one's 2. So I had a 30-minute egg timer and I would turn it over 30 minutes and I would just focus on one activity in my business for those 30 minutes. I'd flip it back the other way. And then for the next 30 minutes, I would do the washing, do the dishes, fold the clothes, like do all the household type stuff. Then I'd flip it back. I'd do another 30 minutes on another task in my business. I'd flip it back. Then 30 minutes would be educating, playing with the kids, getting them outdoors, that kind of thing. Come back in, flip it again. So if that works for you, if you like to have like a little visual thing, the egg timer method might be great for you. Having some clear morning rituals, again, is incredible. And I'm going to share a couple of things with you that I've read in the 5 a.m. Club book. So number 1 is total focus. Like, these are the gestures for daily heroism. I love that. So you can stay in your genius, so that you can stay in your creative flow. So you want to have this tight bubble of total focus where phones are away, kids are locked out of your room. You just want to have this mental focus, this clarity, your physical energy and your personal willpower, your original talent and time. That's the 4 key areas you want to focus on in this total focus. So it's going to help you stay in your A-game state, and it's going to help uplift you and inspire you. So make sure that all distractions are away, and just for this total focus bubble, you are doing the most important activity that's going to allow you to expand, or your business to expand. The second gesture is the 90-91 rule. And this is all about one core project at a time. And you do 90 days of this. So that's the first 90. The second 90 is it's the first 90 minutes that you work in your business, and it's on one activity. So 90-91. So 90 days you do it, first 90 minutes of your day, and you focus on one core thing that's going to improve your bottom line, okay? It's not messaging people. It's not scrolling through Facebook. What is the most expansive activity that you can do in your business or your day or at work that's going to allow you to grow and your business to grow? The third gesture is the 60-10 method, and that's working at your best for 60 minutes and then having 10 minutes rest. Okay. Now, all the science shows, guys, that the real growth happens in the recovery sessions. Okay. So recovery is so important. And I can't stress this enough. As a PT, it wasn't in the actual workout where we were getting the growth and the improvements in the individual. It was during the rest and recovery periods. So most of us feel really guilty when we take time off, or when we zone out of business or work, or, the high paying activities, but it's so key and it's fundamental, guys, in your growth and in your business growth as well. So 60 minutes working and then 10 minutes recovery. And in your recovery, it might be just listening to some music. It might be meditating. It might be getting out in nature, whatever you need to do, just allow you to unwind, and then you're ready to come back for your next 60. The fourth gesture is engage your mindset. So you want to make consistent 1% wins each day. And if you think of that, compounding that 1% improvement every day, oh my goodness, wait till you see where you are in 12 months' time. It's insane. And you want to have 5 tiny targets you want to achieve over your day. And you want to list these in your 20-20-20. So your first hour, you want to list these 5 tiny targets for your day. So you know exactly what you want to do. Most people, Joel, are waking up, they've got no idea what they're doing in their day. So by taking the time out to actually have these little targets set, and it might be that you just want to make a make a certain number of calls. It might be that you want to reach out to a certain number of customers. It might be that you want to spend a certain amount of time with the kids. Like, what are the 5 tiny targets that you want to achieve in that day? The 5th gesture is called the second win workout. So it's all about increasing vitality, scheduling another workout through the day. So remember when I spoke about that victory hour in the morning, you're doing high intensity workout. Later in the day, it's all about nurturing the soul, getting out in nature. It's not as intense. You might just drop down, do some push-ups at the beach. You might go for a walk, whatever it is, but it's all about vitality. Most people are working out once a week, twice a week. Imagine if you're adding in 2 a day. Imagine where your mindset, your health, your energy, your vitality would be after that. It could be yoga, it could be swimming, it could be a mountain bike ride. There's so many ways to get out in the fresh air. The 7th one is what we call traffic university. And I love this. And this was instrumental in my business, turning my vehicle into my university. This is where the real growth in my business came from. It was listening to podcasts. It was listening to audio books. It was listening to health professionals so I could increase my knowledge around health, so I could add more value to more people. So there's dead pockets in your day where you can be absolutely fueling your mind with information so you can become more valuable in the world. So, you know, I love that you can do it while you're cooking, while you're grocery shopping, whack the headphones in while you're driving. It's so important. It's crucial for expansion. The 8th one is what we call the dream team technique. And this is where once you've done your audit, your time audit, you'll be able to see where can I delegate some stuff out of my day that doesn't bring me joy, that causes me stress, and you can delegate it out because it's a poor use of your time and it takes you out of your genius. So you might get a house cleaner in once a week, you know, just to do the wet areas or whatever. You might look at more efficient ways to prepare your meals or get them all done on a Sunday so you're not thinking every day, what am I cooking? What am I making? What can you outsource? You might outsource, find a PT coach that can make you work out more efficiently. You might have a financial coach. You might have a spiritual counselor. You know, what are things that you can delegate out? And that includes getting your kids, getting your partner involved as well to help out around the house. Number 9 is the weekly design system. So a game plan for the week, really carving out your rituals and doing this consistently every Sunday morning for 30 minutes. And what you want to do is come up with a blueprint for the week ahead. And in your journal, you want to write down what were the highlights from the past week? What were the wins? What can you celebrate? And then you want to talk about in the journal, what were the lessons learned? What could you be doing better? What were the optimizations, and what can you actually schedule in each day that are the big rocks in your life? Because let's face it, if you don't have the big rocks in there, like your family, your self-development, you know, things that bring you joy and fulfill you, it might be paddleboarding, it might be your exercise, your business and everything is like the sand that filters in around those big rocks. So make sure the big rocks are scheduled in, and then everything else that filters in around it is just the icing on the cake. And then number 10 is the 6-minute student. So the more you know, the more you'll do. So reclaiming your heroism, you know, reclaiming your genius. So studying for 60 minutes a day is going to raise your acumen. It's going to, you're going to become a weighty thinker. It's going to be skill building videos that you're watching. It's going to be, you becoming exquisite at what you do. So don't just do enough to get by, like really excel. So if you're in, if you're a personal trainer, like what can you study? What can you listen to that's going to elevate your knowledge that you can pass on to other people? And I'm listening to an incredible series at the moment called Broken Brain by Dr. Hyman. And oh my goodness, Joel, the stuff that I'm learning about the human brain is next level, it's just insane, guys. So if you haven't listened to Broken Brain, it's amazing. Everyone needs to know it, and it's going to help you with that longevity and vitality and, rewiring your brain and getting you to think differently, and knowing that, things like your depression and anxiety and autism and, Alzheimer's and all that, we've got to stop just treating the symptom. We've got to go into the underlying cause and things like that. And I only know this stuff because I'm studying it. I make it a ritual to expand my knowledge in all sorts of things. And if you're in like the health industry, you might study something around innovations that are coming out. Like I love these new water pods that they've invented, you know, to try and save the world from plastic. They've created these water pods made from seaweed, and all you do is you pop them in your mouth and you just swallow the whole thing. It's insane. And that's an innovative thing that's coming out and is available these days to try and save the world from plastic. I only know this because I'm studying this stuff. So go and Google innovations in your field and go and share your knowledge. But it's going to give you a return in income by adding more value and just being a better human being. It's going to take it to the next level. So they're the 10 gestures that I really live by as well.
It's amazing. Like this is stuff is like, don't just listen to this stuff. Like go and apply it. Like what we're teaching you has like cost us a lot of money to learn this stuff in a lot of cases. And what we're doing here is giving it to you for free, so you can listen to this podcast, share it with your business partners, share it with your family, so that they can learn it too. So you don't have to go all around the world and learn this. And I have to say, like about 2.5 years ago, I was at an event and you're actually on stage. And it's so funny that you talked about the rocks in the jar and. If actually we're doing this podcast on my computer, and if I went to YouTube, I could show you the video that you put up, and it was just like basically saying that because we've got such a long lifespan compared to other creatures, you know, that we see around there. Maybe not turtles, but just being random there. But you know. We think we've got all the time in the world, and something that my mentors have said to me is like, Joel, someone your age died today. It was probably inconvenient for them. They probably didn't think they were going to die today. Like tomorrow's not promised. We need to understand that time is so important, and I hope that that we have the intelligence to see that, like while we're killing time, time's killing us, and one day it's going to win. So how do you want your life to be? Like, you know, become a dictator of your time. Like dictate your time. Don't let other people dictate your time. You know, get into the entrepreneurial mindset where you own your time, where you're the decision maker, not your boss. You know, like obviously I want you to respect practicality. I'm not telling you to leave your job today because you need to pay the bills. But really start thinking about ways that you can make a side income. Really think about a business that you could start. Like the online space is huge. There's Amazon, there's like network marketing, affiliate marketing. There's like so many ways that you can make money these days without all the trappings of traditional business now. And all it takes is like an internet connection and you to have a bit of go in you. And what that does is, I'm not saying you can do it in one day or a week or 2 weeks or even maybe a year, but wouldn't it be worth it to really take control of your life? And the best thing that I love about my life is that most of the time I can just say, no, I'm not doing that. And when I get asked why, I'm like, because I just don't want to. Mm-hmm. And I spent decades not being able to say that. I was like under the pump for years, but then all I can say is when you get out the other side, it's worth it. So believe in yourself. And just remember, guys, like someone just made time up. Like I know time's a law and in the world, but realistically, who made up that you got to do certain things in 24 hours? Who even made that up? So like if it's an 8-hour workday, why can't you just do more in 4 hours? And that's pretty much what I do. I make sure I'm way more productive most of the time, not always, way more productive in short amounts of time. I want to be lethal. I want to be like that. Like I don't want to stretch it out, you know, a lot of entrepreneurs, they open their laptop, they think they're doing 14-hour days, but what they're doing really is they're opening their laptop at like Gloria Jean's or, you know, Starbucks, having a yak and like getting their coffee. Like that's not work. Work is like get as much done in a short amount of time so you can have more time with doing more of the stuff that you love, you know. So just be a dictator. Like focus on your future and use the time in the present. So like really just be visioning what you want out of life and then use that time right now to get that. And don't put your, like, the past is gone forever, and your future is bright and powerful, and the present is a gift, you know. So use the future to pull you towards your dreams, because focusing on the past is literally robbing you of your future. So all we really have right is this moment right now, and honestly, your past doesn't equal your future. So you want to get really lethal. I'm going to give you one last way to really audit whether you're being lethal or not in your to getting towards your goals. And I know lethal is a bit of a masculine word, but hey, we want to not just kill time. We want to get everything we want in our lives. So start with just your business, or you can do it for your whole life. But just for one day, I want you to document everything you do in the day. So scrolling Facebook, morning rituals. Don't just do it as a normal day. You're not trying to be perfect. It's only you that's going to see this. So, and you might as well be honest about how you really spend your time. Everything you do, I want you to write it down. I want you to document it. And the longer period of time you can do, so if you could do that for a week, that'd be amazing. But just start with a day, and even just start with one area of your life and document everything you do in that area. And then at night, when it's before you go to bed, I want you to go down the list of what you've done today and ask yourself one question. Give it a tick if it was expansive, adding to your life, getting you close to your goals, and give it a cross if it's like constrictive and making your life smaller and buying into excuses and buying into, you know. So if you're really having a big push in your business and your wealth, and you spent 8 hours watching Netflix, that's probably a cross, okay? You know, one day you'll have the choice to watch 8 hours of Netflix and not matter. Like, I don't think you'd want to do it, but anyway, if you did. But that's a really great way to audit it. And don't be hard on yourself. This is not here to give yourself a hard time. This is just to help you get real. So if you get real with yourself, you can make change, because like being hard on yourself and negative self-talk has no place in success. So just, you know, attach like, wow, this is an opportunity. I can really cross a lot of these things off and add more of these things that are empowering, or spend more time doing the things that are growing my life. And like it'll just accelerate your success. You'll be able to do things that you thought were going to take you 5 years. You'll be able to do them in 6 months or less. You'll surprise yourself. But just cut the disempowering stuff out that's not growing you, and put the, you know, so yeah.
I love that, Joel. And a lot of people are holding themselves back in life because they're spending too much time on social media. And I know that's really funny for us to say, because we build our business on social media. But like, what's something that's more empowering that you can do rather than watching everyone else's highlight reels? You know, what could you do that's more empowering? And the main reason why I watch Netflix these days is for the documentaries, and it's a great way to expand your mind, expand your knowledge as well. So have some night rituals too. Like, get off social media, like wind down, let your body really prepare for sleep, because sleep is underestimated in this country. You know, it's kind of a hero. We feel like a hero. Oh, I only got 3 or 4 hours sleep last night, and we wear this badge of honor. No, guys, you need your 7.5, 8 hours sleep. It's when your body refuels, and it's when you're at your most creative as well. So you want to really get that in. So there's a couple of things I want to finish on. And you spoke about your past, Joel, and I just want you guys to know that are listening that, you know, your past is a servant that has made you all that you are today. It's not your friend, okay? And what you've done in the past, like, forgive yourself and give yourself permission to go, you know what? Just because I haven't reached that goal, just because I haven't achieved that thing, doesn't mean that you can't. You know, you've just got to really grow into the person that you need to become to be able to achieve that goal. So I'll give you an example. Like, I want to be $1 million earner. I've never done that in my past. And the poor man mentality that has been passed from generation to generation to generation down my family, it's still continuing, but I'm going to be the person that breaks it. I'm going to be the person that earns the first $1 million a year in our family. And that just excites me no end. It's not about the money. It's about the person I need to become in order to create that. And it's about the impact and the contribution I'm going to be able to have when I start creating that kind of income. You know, I've got massive goals. I know what I want to do. I know who I want to help. And I think a lot of people suppress that entrepreneurial spirit. They don't think it's possible because it hasn't happened in their family before. But who's to say that you can't be the first one in your family that breaks that poor man lineage, that really goes after the hopes and dreams and the aspirations that you have for your life? And if you're a parent, that's your biggest job in this world, is to follow your dreams, pursue your passions, because then you give your kids permission to do the same. You really are the creator of your life, guys. Like, I can't stress that enough. And, you know, there's 4 key resources that you really need to focus on throughout your day. And that's your thoughts, your feelings, your words, and your deeds. Okay. So, you know, your thoughts are so powerful. What are you saying to yourself? How are you feeling on a daily basis? What words, what verbiage are you using, not just towards yourself, but to others? And then what deeds are you doing, you know, to make you a better person, to make the world a better place? Stay away from the dream stealers. Stay away from the trouble creators, the people who are addicted to drama. This comes back to self-management. Who are you spending time with? People that are helping you dissolve your bigness, you know. Really, really appreciate and value your time, guys. Don't hang out with the people that are allowing you to play small. You want to hang out with people that raise you up, that get you to play at a higher standard. So that's so, so important. And the last thing I kind of want to finish on is that tomorrow's a bonus. It's not a right. You know, you heard Joel speak about this. Our tomorrow is not promised. There is a person your age that died today, you know, and I've lost many people in my life, at like 26 years old, younger than that, older than that, you know, and it really makes you stop and think, wow, like life really is precious. And tomorrow's a promise, it's not a fact. Like it's not promised to us, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So because your days are numbered, don't put your talents off. Don't postpone having a fun and beautiful life. Like really start using some of these things that we gave you today to start implementing so that you can live a more fulfilling life where you can add more value and leave the world in a better place than what you entered it. And I really feel like that's where we get to make a real difference in this world. So, yeah, I hope this has been really helpful.
It's huge. I think that people should listen to this over and over again. Like I think this is actually our most like tactical podcast we've done. I think there's action steps in here that will serve people at a massively high level. And just really want to remind you guys that everybody dies between the achievement of a goal and going for your next one. So like, and it's always going to be inconvenience. You're never going to be like, you're not going to tick every box. Like, so why not check out when it's your time between going for 2 huge goals? You know, go for something big, like, because when it comes to your time, and hopefully mine is past 120, I'm aiming for that. So I want to be able to say, yeah, well, I left everything on the track. I left everything in the gym. I left everything. I loved at my highest rate. I served at the highest level. I don't want to die with any regrets, because whatever you're scared of right now, and that's holding you back right now, I can guarantee you when you're taking your last breath, it will no longer be scary. So you might as well do it, because there's no path to your success and your dreams that doesn't come with getting outside your comfort zone. Mm-hmm. It's impossible to get to your highest true self, and you can do it on a daily basis. But like your goals and that's not going to come from staying in your comfort zone and listening to other people. You know what's right. You know if what you're hearing here is right for you, and if you want if there's other people out there that can help you with strategies, then that's great. Listen to them, but you just got to do something. You just got to take a step every day, and just remember that. Own your time and give yourself credit for the little steps you take each day. Mm. Don't be hard on yourself because you decided to be, I don't know, like a coach, and you aren't Tony Robbins in 1 year. You know, like I see it all the time. Like, oh my God, I don't have 10,000 clients. Oh, okay. Well, guess what? He's been doing this for 40 years, and he started in his lounge room and copped a lot of crap along the way. You know, like there's people in network marketing, I see them join, and they're like, I'm going to be the one that gets to the $1 million club in 2 weeks or whatever. So I'm probably that bad, you know. but it's a long-term career. Like like it's just crazy to think that you can do that. And it's across the board. So like I guess ending it, be kind to yourself, do the work, and realize that it's probably not going to take you 10 years, but if it did, it's going to be worth it. It's going to be worth it. Like in the businesses that we're in and this podcast, if this takes 10 years to blow up, I don't care. I'm still going to be doing it. Yeah. So I'm cool with the long period of time. And yeah. So
I love that.
That's it.
I just want to finish with this one last thing. And it's that the tragedy of life is not death, but what dies within us.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Kristine. And guys, share this around if this was amazing for you.